who should win the WWE United States Women's Championship and the Intercontinental Women's Champ? That is the question we're going to be answering today, but before we do so, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, that way you get some of the best wrestling content out there. We are now a YouTube partner, so if you want to help us create more content just like this, consider becoming a member for as low as a Starbucks coffee. So as you guys know, Nick Aldis a few weeks ago announced the WWE United States Women's Championship on SmackDown, with many people speculating who they think is going to be the first ever Women's US Champion. This is the very first women's mid-card title that ever happened in the WWE, especially after NXT had their NXT Women's North American Championship become a big success, with Kalani Jordan being their first champion. And this also allows the women's division to have more competition with each other, not just go for the top world titles or just the tag team championships. At least now more people have the opportunity to become a champion and show more of a name for themselves in the ring. And I do not count the Speed Championship because it's not even shown on television. So in today's video, I'm going to go over who I think should be the first ever Women's United States Champion, and also who we think should be the first Women's Intercontinental Champion, even though that hasn't been announced yet. So for those who have been watching SmackDown already, Nick Aldis already announced a Women's United States Championship tournament where they have 4 triple threat matches and just bracket style, tournament style. And we already know 2 of the 4 winners of the first round. So for the first half of this video, I'm going to go over the existing already United States Women's Championship. And then in the second half of the video, I'm going to go over the Intercontinental Women's Championship, which is going to be eventually a thing, hopefully on Raw. This tournament consisted of Bayley, Candice LeRae, B-Fab, Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Blair Davenport, Jade Cargill, Michin, Piper Niven, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Elektra Lopez, with Bayley defeating B-Fab and Candice LeRae, as well as Chelsea Green defeating Blair Davenport and Bianca Belair. The other 2 matches of Jade Cargill, Michin, and Piper Niven, as well as Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, as well as Elektra Lopez, have not happened yet, and will most likely happen upon the upcoming weeks of SmackDown. And the first ever Women's United States Champion will be crowned at Saturday night's main event, December 14th. So everybody online has been talking about how Chelsea Green and Michin should be the first 2 ever United States Women's Champions. They have been busting their ass in the ring, whether they've been just jobbing to other superstars or have just been doing their own thing in the ring. They've been fantastic, and the crowd has been behind them 100%. B-Fab absolutely crushed it in her match against Bayley and Candice LeRae, and she definitely has a lot to prove, but I don't think she's going to be US champion yet. But I could definitely see her down the future getting a title shot. Tiffany Stratton's already going for the Women's World Championship or the WWE Women's Championship with her Money in the Bank, so I don't think it makes sense for her to go for this Women's US Championship and go all the way. I think Elektra Lopez could be a wild card in this because we haven't seen her compete on the main roster yet. And I think down the line, Naomi and Bayley are going to be feuding at some point, whether it be at the Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania. And then the same thing goes for Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. As you guys know, Jade Cargill was attacked on SmackDown this past Friday, so I'm sure they're going to do this whole storyline where it was Bianca all along, and then they're going to fight it out, whether it be at the Rumble or Mania as well. I don't really see Blair Davenport or Candice LeRae getting this US Championship because of the fact that I feel like SmackDown just hasn't done anything for them, and it's unfortunate, but there hasn't been any clear build-up or storyline for them to kind of win any kind of championship at this moment. And a lot of people are behind Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven is just kind of on the side as her sidekick. But if you want my personal opinion, I'm a big Chelsea Green fan, and the fact that she got screwed over the Money in the Bank ladder match in Toronto and did that very good table spot, and just her whole personality in general is just so entertaining and funny, I am very biased, and I want Chelsea Green to win that US Championship. For Michin, they should definitely have her as a champion down the line, but SmackDown hasn't done a good job of pushing her and showing off her skills as much as they should. She's had a really good match with Io Sky in the past where she was able to show her skills, but they haven't really done much to show her promo skills and everything of that nature. If anything, NXT has done a good job of doing that, but SmackDown's kind of pushed her to the side as, you know, the person that gets beat up by Nia Jax. So because of that, Chelsea Green gets my pick as the first US Women's Champion. If I had to pick a second person, it probably would be Naomi if I had to pick, or Michin if they decide to pull the trigger on her. So that's the SmackDown side with the US Women's Championship. Now that leaves Raw without any kind of women's mid-card title. Now I don't think they're announcing the Intercontinental Championship for the woman anytime soon. They're probably going to wait until the US title goes into the hands of one of the women in the women's division and see how that run goes until they finally get the Raw side. But here are my picks of who I think would be in the tournament if they made the same style for Monday Night Raw. Now, this isn't in any order of who's facing each other in any kind of triple threat match for round one. These are just the people that I think would be deserving of a Women's Intercontinental Championship shot down the line for Monday Night Raw. So the people that I think are deserving of this tournament match would be Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile, Kairi Sane, Kaden Carter, Lara Valkyria, Maxine Dupree, Natalia, Raquel Rodriguez, Sonya Deville, Zelina Vega, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler. This tournament would be really cool because you got all 3 members of the Pure Fusion Collective, so they could at one point even feud with each other. I feel like they need to push the trigger already on Maxine Dupree to show her wrestling skills, because they had some points where they were showing it, but they were just kind of, you know, teasing us a little bit. Kairi Sane could be there for Io Sky as well. And I don't think Io Sky is going to be on this list because she is going against Liv Morgan for that Women's World Championship, but things could change down the line. Now, if all these women listed as who I think would be in the tournament, the person that I think would personally win the whole tournament and become the very first ever women's Intercontinental Champion has to go to Dakota Kai. She just returned back from injury, and they've been kind of pushing her with some video packages on Monday Night Raw, so that could be a little teaser as to, hey, Dakota Kai might be onto something. Right now, they're having her as a babyface, but I could see her actually as a heel pulling this off and just being the person everybody boos with that IC title. And we've been wanting mid-card titles for the woman for God knows how long, because they're either fighting for Liv Morgan's belt, Nia Jax's belt, or Bianca and Jade, and that's really it. At least now you can do some more storylines for more titles. And what's crazy is even with adding 2 women's mid-card titles, that's still less amount of belts than AEW Ring of Honor got. But yeah, I'm very excited for the women's mid-card titles to finally be a thing. Obviously, the IC title isn't really announced yet or a rumor, but I think down the line, once they see that the US Women's Championship has been a successful run so far, maybe for a few months, then they'll pull the trigger on Monday Night Raw and do the same thing. Just please, for the love of God, do not make it a battle royal for the first IC Women's Champion, please. But anyway, there you have it, folks, who I think should win the US Women's Championship and the Women's Intercontinental Championship. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you get some of the best wrestling content out there. Also, considering becoming a full paid member, so that way you can help us make more content just like this for the low price of $4.99 a month. And with that, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.